All right. And now we were talking about someone who is not congenial. Well, Patrick Anderson. Had a chat with him. Let's watch and listen.
What happened in Beijing and here in Berlin with your MVP athletes?
Well, I think the difference is that here I had a lot more confidence. I expected better performances because I had a lot more control of the preparation process. And as such, going into these championships was more similar to going into one of the national championships at home, where every step of the athlete's preparation can be planned the way you see fit. I guess that's the biggest difference, and as a result, I suspect that the overall performances were a lot better.
Shelly-Ann Fraser, she mentioned to me in the interview after the 100 meters that she was worried earlier after the surgery, losing time, and you said to her, "Do you see me worried? You'll be okay." Why are you so confident that she would be ready for the championship?
Because you know, I felt that once we narrowed down her training to the strict 100 meter training and forgot about the 200 meters, then there would be more than enough time for her to get to a decent level of performance. I mean, it wasn't where we had wanted her to be overall, because she lost quite a number of weeks earlier in the year. But I always felt that, you know, she could end up being this year 10-6 if she had a good some assistance will win, and she got very close. So I think you know, she once she relaxed, because you know she was coming to this meet from the perspective of having won last year rather than trying to surprise people.
Right.
So I think that in itself, once she got over that and learned how to approach it,
right,
from that angle, she would do very, very well.
Melaine also earlier this season said to us, you know, tight hammies, bit of a problem. You could see she was building on the Grand Prix circuit, but was losing, looked a little bit frustrated. And bam, the second fastest time and gold at the World Championship with Lashinda Demus in the field. How did you get Melaine ready for this?
Well, there came a point in time where we decided that, said to her, you know, Melaine, we have 3 weeks. We're going to do a lot of work. It's going to be difficult, but I believe that if we can get you to get a little bit more improvement on your endurance, then you're going to beat these girls easily. And she said, "Okay, coach," and then she worked, she did the work, and she was disappointed in the last race in Monte Carlo because she expected to run a lot better, but she ran into some problems with one of the hurdles. But overall, I think that she felt fit coming in. She felt good,
right.
And we always knew that if she was able to stay in contention up to the top of the straight, then she was going to win.
How did you get Bridget and Asafa to relax here? Two athletes that are usually wound up for big events.
Yeah, well, we spent a lot of time this year emphasizing the importance of relaxation and performance. We spent a lot of time doing and effort doing exercises to relax or doing scenarios in which they would practice the relaxation and so on. And I think it eventually got through to both athletes that, you know, it is far more important to focus on other things rather than to be constantly fixed on what is coming up.
Right.
And I think, you know, both of them crossed hurdles this championships, and I expect for both of them, as long as they continue, that they will be able now to ignore the possibility of them not delivering when they need to.
Was it crisis time for you and the crew for Asafa when he aggravated the groin after the semifinals?
Yeah, well, I mean, I am well, I hope he's okay. Now, I told him today that he had not come to practice. And I told him the only reason why I was going to allow him to run this relay today was because the Americans were out. And I felt that
wouldn't be enough pressure.
There would not be any pressure on him. But yeah, I had no idea that we would end up on ankle leg with that close. But you know, it's over, and you know, I'm hoping that he's okay and that he can continue to fulfill the rest of his season.
But he said after the press conference that he knew it was there, but he didn't feel it. But let me ask you, you said something interesting. If the American team was in the final, you would not have made Asafa run.
No, because he would lose all perspective, and he would have. You see, Asafa only needed to give him the possibilities that Jamaica had. Asafa only had to run at slightly more than 80% pace to be better than the other possibilities.
Right.
But what happens is that when he gets himself caught up into the competition, he tends to forget through caution to the wind, like what happened to him on the pen relays. We thought that we could tell him, look, go run, or we understand that you have the grind, the ankle problem. Do not press on the curve.
Right.
But once he got caught up into the race, it went all to the window. And rather than put him in that kind of situation again, I said to him that if America is in, you can't run because you're going to damage yourself.
Right. The situation with Shelly-Ann in the 4x1, and that it is our understanding, and correct me, that there was an insistence, I'm not quite sure if it was from yourself or Shelly-Ann, that she run the straight. Is that so, and why?
I don't know. I don't know what this question relates to, if it's the fact that Veronica did not run, but...
No, not the question has to do with Shelly-Ann.
Shelly-Ann is a world and Olympic champion, and also a national record holder. Leaving apart any problem that Shelly-Ann might have with her hips, we have to remember that, and therefore, in selecting and composing a team, you have to remember those things. And anybody who forgets that needs reminding. That's all I have to say on that issue.
And if Shelly-Ann wasn't running one of the straights, the back stretch or the home straight, would you have allowed her to run?
I don't know what. Unfortunately, that issue didn't come up. She has problems, physical problems, which would prevent her running them either of the two corner legs successfully or safely. But as I said to you, I mean, I don't see why it's an issue. As I said, reminded that she has the national record holder, world champion, Olympic champion, 100 meters, and I think she's a person who would have a choice of where she runs.
Next question. Dana McFarlane had said in a post-race interview with me that you know, you're disrespecting all the other athletes who went to the camp because the camp was okay, and he doesn't understand what you meant when you say that the facilities were poor and that he felt disrespected. How would you respond to that comment?
Well, Dana McFarlane will have to negotiate with his sponsor as well when they come to cut his contract, because he came 5th or 6th or something. Fortunately for my athletes, they don't have that problem. You know, Dana McFarlane does what he thinks is in his best interest. I do what I think is in the best interest of my athletes, and I can't tell Dana McFarlane how to train. If he believes that all he needs to train is a tractor or turn up on the place, that is his business. We need more. And if we don't have those other facilities, then to me it's substandard facilities. And I mean, it doesn't really matter if anybody else needs them. The point that we need them and we use them.